just the Alabama team.
Transition and welcome to the Maven Sports Show. I'm your host, Haven Harrington, joined by my man Raashaan Myers.
What's good, 502? How y'all doing?
And in the middle, we got our man, Mr. UK himself, Devin Hall.
What's up? How y'all doing?
I'm doing good, man. And for those out there who don't know, Devin Hall is the 450th fastest person ever in a mini marathon. Right there, Devin Hall. My man.
Yeah.
I'm
just happy to finish. I don't care what place I'm in. I was just happy to be walking at the end.
Congratulations. That's huge. That's big time.
Hell yeah.
I appreciate it.
Man, we got so much to talk about today, so much going on. Let's go ahead and kick it off, and let's go ahead and start with all things. The University of Louisville, the Beak with Teeth, the fourth quarter murderers. We give you the Louisville Cardinal football team, who once again found a way to lose the game in the fourth quarter in a heroic effort to Clemson.
You know, it's interesting, and if you're wondering what I was doing over here, I was making sure all our good folks on Facebook are able to watch our live broadcast. So, of course, any questions or suggestions or comments, make sure you guys are putting your questions out there so we can answer them. But it's interesting to me that I feel like the Louisville football team is they're trolling their own fans, because I've never seen a team find so many different ways to lose in gut-wrenching fashion. It's like they create a new storyline every week. It's like everybody says, you know what, I'm done with it, I'm quitting them, it's over. And then
they get about hyped up.
They get you pulled back in. They've always found a way to pull you back in and make you think, you know what? Maybe this is the time. Maybe this time we got it.
It's a big recruiting night.
You know
what? We got 10, 11, 12 four-star recruits in there. We need to allow. Buy one, get one free on the tickets to Clemson.
It was unbelievable. But I mean, the thing is, they played a good game. This is the whole thing. It's like Louisville has mastered the ability to play good football. And then as soon as you feel like you have all the momentum going your way, be like, you know what? Just never mind. We're
done.
Yeah, it's frustrating. Haven, and being there at Cardinal Stadium on Saturday evening versus the most hated Clemson Tigers, man, have an opportunity.
The worst Clemson team in 10 years, easy.
I mean,
an easy 10 years.
It's one of those things that you know that you haven't beat Clemson. People want to talk about it was a down Clemson year. People were going to celebrate that victory as if Clemson was undefeated, because that's the one team that Louisville hasn't beaten since joining the conference. So you have everything out there in front of you. You control the action for most of the first couple of quarters. You have a lead going into the fourth quarter. It looks like Louisville's going to get it done.
For 3/4 of the game, you had Clemson where you wanted them.
Then you
right through the ropes.
You allow them to get back in the game. You allow Clemson to take the lead. Then not only do they take the lead, you fail to move the ball. You turn the ball over on downs. Clemson kicks a field goal. But you know what? You still have an opportunity. So okay, it's a 6-point game. We got 2.5 minutes left, couple timeouts. Maybe we can make this happen. Maybe we can get down there. Maybe we catch lightning in a bottle. Louisville, lo and behold, has this
they caught lightning
historic drive. And they have these great catches, unbelievable plays. And everybody's like, oh, my God. They're actually doing something. Oh, my goodness. Could this actually happen? Wonderful catch by, friend of the Main Event Sports Show, Justin Marshall. Gets the ball down to the 2-yard line with an unbelievable play that gets overturned on replay. 2 yards from, history. This is Malik Cunningham's moment.
Pee right down the leg.
And could not get the ball.
Pee right down. You had 4 chances from the 2-yard line. Now, granted, and I'm going to say crap, in Ned Flanders' defense, he said himself that he actually called some passing plays, but they weren't open, so they kind of left Malik the option, almost a run-pass option type of deal. of running the ball if it wasn't open, which he did. He ran the ball. And, you know, on those 4 downs, what you saw was, to me, just horrendous play calling. The first play, I'm okay with. They tried to run the ball to the power back. They tried to go over the tackle, but that play was blown up by the linebacker, so you had to take it wide.
I'm going to tell you why I don't like that play call. First of all, you were running to the edge. You were
no, the first one, they weren't really running to the edge. He was just trying to go over the tackle, but it was blown up, so he had no choice.
No, north and south. Jalen Mitchell's a 235-pound running back. Run the ball right underneath the center. I don't care if you have to use Malik as a lead blocker after he hands it off, but you have 6 inches, 12 inches.
Well, here's the thing. Like I said, on the first play,
no,
they tried to run
you can't run him wide.
On the first play, they weren't trying to run it right. They tried to run it straight, but they got blown up.
Then you need to tell Mitchell that he needs to go north and south and get as much as he can, because you're not a scat back.
Well, they should have ran it. They should have either ran that play over again, and if not, they should have done a play action pass or a bootleg. Both of those, I believe, because Clemson, I honestly believe, was expecting to run the ball anyway, because you got 2 yards to go. You take the ball, play action pass, you pull it back, hit your tight end or one of your tight ends over the middle, should be a score. Or Malik takes the ball, takes a step back, runs toward the goal line, jump pass, a la Florida in the championship game.
Yeah.
Touchdown. Those are, I think those are 2 plays, the 2 obvious plays that we didn't call. As a matter of fact, I'm going to put my man Omni here to see if we can pull up, because we actually have footage of the last 3 plays. So the first one you can see here where they try to hand it to my man Mitchell, and it just gets blown up by Clemson's linebacker. It gets completely blown up.
Cunningham.
See, he's in the backfield. He has no choice but to take the wide. He's not fast enough.
Outside.
I understand that. That play I get. It got blown up. You tried to go north and south. They got blown up.
Mm-hmm.
I get it. You got to do what you can get.
Absolutely.
He's not fast enough to make it happen. So
that's
okay.
Part of that's on the offensive line, but also part of it's the fact that you don't have a package where you can take your quarterback under center. It's literally the same issues that we had with John L. Smith when he was here. How in the hell do you have a football team where you have to go shotgun from the 2-yard line? You don't have any plays where you can take your quarterback under center and either sneak or put a fullback in the backfield, I formation, and run over. I hate that about that. Okay, you can continue now.
You're right. And the next 2 plays were literally, if we look at this play here, we don't have the second down play, which actually was supposed to be a pass play. It wasn't open. So
He's dragged down by R.J. Mickens, the strong safety.
So we go to the third play.
Designed for this scenario.
This was just a straight run.
Cunningham on the move. He gets stuck and stopped. It's Mickens again, and that brings up 4th.
Over the tackle all game long. So now you try to go to edges when everything's constrained.
With an athletic team, in a compressed situation, you don't have a lot of space to deal with. That's why it's very hard to run wide. It's hard to run wide on Southern Mississippi. Okay, when everything's compacted down. Okay, but when you're trying to run against a team that's as athletic as Clemson, trying to out-athlete Clemson,
it's a mistake.
It's foolish. You got to get north and south. You got to go straight ahead.
And the 4th down play.
Goal.
Yeah, this is going to be the final play.
15 seconds.
Nobody's open.
Cunningham rolling. He goes
and even if you look at it, all the wide receivers are on one side of the field. There's nothing to the left side of the field. You're not balancing out the defense.
And there's no way that he could have saw the side of the field, because once he started running, you cut the field in half.
You cut your own legs off from under you.
Yeah, it was bad play calling. Especially when you know Malik's gimpy.
I mean, and my issue is this, is that I believe that Scott Satterfield, this is what we've talked about, and we talked about it on the radio as well. I believe Scott Satterfield is a good coach, but what I've seen of Scott Satterfield is that while he's good in preparation, he's good in the teaching of the game, he's good in seeing an opponent and trying to devise that game plan.
I would agree.
But his issue, the man gets into high pressure situations and completely has the yips. He gets very apprehensive. We already know that he's classically not a very aggressive risk taker to begin with. He always kind of errs on the side of caution. So we know that about him. But when he gets into high pressure situations, when you have continually this is not a just this year problem. Every time he gets into a situation where, you got to convert a third down or you got to get a defensive stop, Louisville have more times than not has just completely went with not only just tough luck on not making a play, the completely wrong play call or the completely incorrect defensive setup.
And these were the first one I think was okay. That got blown up. I get it. But the other 3 play calls on the goal line, bad.
And if you're gonna throw a pass play, you better tell Malik Cunningham to at least attempt to throw the ball. You have to throw the ball. Let it go.
Out the back of the end zone.
I mean, you got Justin Marshall. He's 6'3". He's got size. You have one of the best tight ends in the ACC in Raashaan Ford, and you did not give any of your guys an opportunity, at least on that 4th down play call where Justin Marshall makes the miracle catch. He threw it. You didn't have a choice. It was 4th down. But you're telling me you don't throw one pass into the end zone. I don't understand.
According to Satterfield, he called 2 pass plays, but nobody was open.
But you know what? This is what we've seen with Malik Cunningham all year.
But those were also bad design pass plays.
Oh, I agree with you. But what have we seen? And this is one thing that I've had an issue with Malik Cunningham. For as great as he's been, he tends to get real selfish around that end zone. We've seen it on read option plays where the option to hand the ball to the running back can sashay right in, but we'll see Malik pull that ball and try to shake 5, 6, 7 people so he gets the glory of that touchdown. And while you can sit there and say, okay, this guy wasn't open, I feel like Malik is so used to, you know what, I trust me, or I'm going to bet on me versus everybody else on the team to make that play. We've seen it too many times that he does not throw the ball and just opts to just try to juke everybody. And while I can say, okay, coach, fine, you say the pass wasn't there, that's fine. But we've seen a guy that all year has opted to call his own number instead of sharing the love inside the 10.
Man, you know what? And on that note, we're about to take a quick commercial break here. And Devin, I forgot about you, because coming back after the break, we're going to break down Louisville-Syracuse. Man, can he get off the schneid against an improving Syracuse team? And what happened to the Wildcats' magical season? Man, they just fell apart these last 3 games. Quarterbacks have torched them left and right. My man Devin is going to explain everything, how it went down, how it's going to go down, and what's going to happen the rest of the season. We got that. We got some big announcements and much, much more coming back on the Main Event Sports Show on the Plug Network. Stay plugged in.
I'm Hayden Harrington, host of Main Event Sports Show. Catch us every Thursday, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time here on the Plug Network Online. Stay plugged in.
And welcome back to FAMU edition of the Main Event Sports Show. Man, I didn't talk to this guy all day, man. We just happen to we're supposed to be repping FAMU today by accident. Hey, it feels like that sometimes.
Some of the coldest gear out in college athletics, I promise.
Don't sleep on the Rattlers. Strike, Rattlers, strike. They're going to the playoffs.
Fighting 100.
They're going to the playoffs. Now, I'm telling you, if you ever get a chance to go to Tallahassee, Florida for a FAMU football game, he'll tell you.
Hey.
I took him to his first one.
Hey, some of the best food and the band was amazing. It was just a party. It's like a family reunion every weekend.
Telling you.
Don't they have the best record in Florida this year?
Yeah, they do. Yes, they do have the best record in Florida. Matter of fact, your buddy, the MC rapper himself, Pals, tweeted that same thing. Put some respect on FAMU's name because they got the best record in the state of Florida.
Wow. That's wild.
They're doing it big. But
Absolutely.
You know what? All our folks on Twitter and Facebook, thanks for chiming in. We got your questions. Let's get to them.
Absolutely. So got our man Tony Young chiming in. Tony, appreciate you listening. Said that he says any team should have a short yardage offense. You overload blocking on that side and dominate that side, one or the other. He says 2 tight ends, an extra blocker in the slot, send a man in motion to the strong side. He said USC used to have a play called student body right, and all the offense commits to blocking the right side and gains yards.
There you go.
Simple.
Or you know what? University of Illinois. I think they won over the weekend. and they literally had 3 passing plays the whole game. Like
Yeah.
3 or 4 passes. All they did was line up like 9 offensive linemen and a running back.
You should be able to quarterback sneak 4 times and get 2 yards.
Technically.
That's sneaky.
But, man, so what do you think about this weekend?
You know what?
We're
It's
going to retire the number 8 jersey, Lamar Jackson.
the greatest
jersey.
to ever do it.
It's being retired.
And you know what? Lamar's going to be in town. They're going to retire his number, only the second number to be retired in the history of the school. Well deserved. I'm glad that they're doing this while Lamar's still an active player. I expect to see that statue coming soon. I feel like that's where the excitement about this weekend ends. And I say that for 2 reasons. Syracuse is a team that's going to make it very boring. They are a very good defensive team, one of the best at getting the quarterback.
Tremendous running back.
And running game. They're going to run the ball. They're going to play defense. So it's going to be boring. It's going to be low scoring. It's going to probably be very similar to the Boston College game. But I think that Syracuse's talent is a little bit better than Boston College. So I feel like this is going to be a game that, once again, Louisville's going to have an opportunity to win it, but they're also going to have an opportunity to lose it. But interesting thing, Haven, and I want to know where you sit on this. I feel like some fans don't want Louisville to win this game because I think a lot of fans believe that if Louisville loses this game and they lose the last game of the year to Kentucky, they may be in the market for a new coach. And I think that some fans are on that bandwagon now. What do you think about that?
Oh, I 100% agree. I mean, fans want. Let's be honest. We're gonna put all our chips on the table. Unlike some other media outlets, I'm not gonna pull any punches, and we're just gonna say it. And I said it before. I said it on the radio show last week. And for those who don't know what we're talking about when you say radio show, every Saturday morning from 9 to 11, you can catch me, Raashaan, our man Joe Kelly on Wake Up 502 with Raashaan Myers on Big X Radio 1450, 9 to 11 every Saturday. This Saturday we'll be on there breaking it down some more.
Absolutely.
But ever since Satterfield decided he wanted to try to get that South Carolina job and lobby for that South Carolina job, Louisville fans been done with him.
Yeah.
They've been done with him ever since. No matter what he does, it's not going to be good enough because they know that, number one, he doesn't want to be here because he said it, even in his apology interview. I mean, his apology press conference afterwards, he said it, I'm not going to leave unless it's probably for another North Carolina job.
What I'm proud of with this radio show is that while other stations and other shows have gone out of their way to trip and fall over themselves to look extremely foolish, acting as if the Louisville fans forgot about it, Main Event Sports Show has always kept it real. And we literally said, as of that day, this is a transactional relationship. And the moment you become not worth it, we could give a damn what happens to you.
And it's to that point, like,
I agree.
you better win. And Syracuse game with Syracuse, they lost 3 in a row by 3 points. They won 3 in a row. They're on a 3-game winning streak right now.
Watch out.
I mean, honestly, Syracuse like really a good team. They're an ACC team. What does that mean? They're average.
Hey, they're 5-4 and Louisville's 4-5. They have a better record than Louisville.
They're an average team. This is a team that you would think on most years Louisville should easily win. This is not most years.
Louisville should win the game, but there's going to be an opportunity at Louisville.
I want to make a prediction, but I can't because I have no idea. I mean, because we could be up by 15 points going to the fourth quarter. That does not mean anything. We've been outscored in the fourth quarter 18-0, 16-0, and I believe another like 17 or 14-0.
Yes.
So we've been outscored like 49-0 in the fourth quarter in our last 3 losses. So who knows what's going to happen? But I do know what's going to happen, though, down the road. Kentucky's going to beat Vanderbilt, but, man, their defense, not the entire defense, let me phrase, their secondary is trash. They got tossed up. Okay, getting tossed about Georgia, that's excusable. But getting tossed about a dink and dunk from Mississippi State, and then last week, man, gave up 2 75-yard, 2 drives, 2 75-yard passes.
I just want to mention that on said morning show, one guy picked Kentucky to win that game. One guy picked Tennessee to go ahead and get it taken care of.
That was him.
So,
I mean, but you would think, you have like 40 minutes, like 46 minutes of time possession, and you score, 43 points. You would think you would win the game.
you would think.
You would think that's enough to win the game. But Kentucky's secondary, oh God.
Devin, what's happening? What's going on with you? What is the state of UK right now? How are fans reacting to the loss? And what do the prospects look like moving forward? Is Vanderbilt even a question? Because I hear people saying that definitely Kentucky's going to get it taken care of. What are your thoughts?
Well, to go back, before we get to the Vanderbilt part, let's go over these last two games. When we look at Mississippi State, our defense didn't play horrible. I mean, it did have a down game compared to what we've been playing. But the offense of Mississippi State, 3 interceptions, 3 fumbles from Rodriguez. One of them was recovered for a fumble. I mean, our turnover difference is the worst in the nation. That's killing us right now. Absolutely killing us. I mean, everybody talks about Levis being a strong thrower, strong arm. You look at he had like 14 touchdowns with 9 interceptions before this last game.
Ooh,
so he has 10 interceptions now for the season. Rodriguez has been butterfingers all year. Then when you look at Tennessee, offense dominated. I mean, Levis played a hellacious game. Rodriguez did good. Wandale did good. Isaiah Cummins had a coming-out party. I mean, the offense was great, but the defense, like you said, that secondary, horrendous. The screen pass for 70 yards to Velus Jones. Then they had the other one where we got the third down. Then Peyton, I think that was his name, who got the other 70-yard touchdown. I mean, I don't know. It just feels like each of them flip-flop. One of them have a great game. Like, the offense can be good, the defense will be bad. Defense is good, the offense is bad. We need to have that consistency on each side, you know. And, I mean, I feel like we'll get it done with Vanderbilt. Of course, you just can't overlook a team, and they're SEC team, but they're way bottom tier. I mean, if we slip up and have the turnovers destroy us again like in Mississippi State, they could slip up and beat us with how we've been playing, you know. We just got to find the confidence and, I mean, beat them. Then we got New Mexico State, and then it's the big game, the big rivalry game.
Man, you know, I went and perused several of the UK message boards, and the level of disappointment is just through the roof. And I understand why UK fans are disappointed, because SEC is down.
Haven, 2 weeks ago, Kentucky was literally one of the teams that were being projected by one of the guys on ESPN to be in the playoff.
Kentucky was looking at worst an 11-1 season, being a magical season, a New Year's Six bowl maybe, and now it's just like, I was on the message boards, and it's brutal. I mean, the fans are now thinking, will we ever win more than 9 games with Stoops as coach? Because he's been here for a while, and he's never clipped that 10-game, that 10-win mark. And
winning in college football is intoxicating. Louisville fans went through this during their magical season with Lamar, when Lamar won the Heisman. And for those couple of weeks where you start to creep up and you're in that bowl championship conversation and you're in the playoff conversation,
it's like Coke.
That's an intoxicating feeling. So once you get that,
yes, man, when you come down,
ain't no high like that.
You're like Pookie from New Jack City. They're calling me, man. They're calling me. I'm telling you, it's just.
Ooh, Devin. So let me ask you yourself. Like, what do you think? First of all, a lot of people want to say, you know what? It's the same old Kentucky. They got a couple of breaks. They took advantage of a down Florida, a down LSU. You know, all the talk early in the year where there was just so much excitement. It just seems like the dejection is full bore right now. Where are you with this team? Do you think that they can bounce back, or do you think that the attitudes are going to continue to go south? Like, do you think that this can still be reclaimed as a big time season for Kentucky?
I mean, I still believe it can. I mean, for what Kentucky fans have been through in the football world all of our lives, for as long as I've been around, it's just been, besides, of course, back when we had Woodson and them, that was a great time for us. But then ever since that, coming to now, it's been horrible. But to have the 9-win season with Benny Snell and them, then we're going to have another potential 9-win season this year, maybe 8, with us getting to 8 to 9 wins. Maybe the 10 will come whatever these
In the
bigger
bowl.
stars that are coming in right now, you get a few years in them. Maybe by that time we'll be getting 10, maybe 11 wins. But at least we're growing. I still believe in them. I still think this is going to be a big season for us, and we can still get in not a New Year's Six, of course, but a quality bowl at the end of the season. And
A
I'll
New
be
Year's Day
content,
bowl.
yeah, I think we'll be a pretty solid bowl by the end of the year. And, I mean, I'll be content with it, but you know how some fans are. I feel like some fans will be disappointed and don't believe in them the rest of the season, but I do think
They want the
they'll
Orange
bounce back.
Bowl. I mean, they want something like an Orange Bowl.
Gator Bowl, yeah.
They want a
Yeah.
Gator Bowl. They want one of the big time games. I mean, that was the expectation. You know, when you start out, Kentucky was 6-1,
6-0.
6-0. So I mean, when you're at 6-0, you're looking for
Yeah, it's
that opportunity, you know? I mean, so to go from, I would agree with you. I mean, let's put it like this, fellas. I feel like for both fan bases, and I don't know if you all would agree with me on this, but in my personal opinion, I feel like both fan bases are like, y'all better beat Kentucky. Y'all better beat Louisville. Like, I think that's what it's come down to for both fan bases right now.
That's what it has. But you know what? We're up on a break. When we come back from that break, let's talk about a little Kentucky Vanderbilt and Kentucky Duke. When we come back from this break, watch the Main Event Sports on the Plug Network. Get plugged in.
I'm Devin Harrington, host of Main Event Sports Show. Catch us every Thursday, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time here on the Plug Network Online. Stay plugged in.
And we are back on the Main Event Sports Show. I'd like to thank everybody for tuning in and listening to us and watching us there on Facebook and YouTube and all the other intrawebs. If you're watching us on YouTube and you happen to watch it on when we upload this to our YouTube channel, please like and subscribe while you're there. And also, I'd like to thank all our Patreons for making our show possible. We got my man Al Simmons, Richard Jones, Cian Banez, John Rico, Jessica Evans, and my man Assad Nuwabi. You know, thank you for and Harold Kelker. We got a new one as well. So thank you guys for being our patrons there, man. We love each and every one of you for making everything we do here possible happen. And if you want to be a patron, it's very simple. Go to maineventsportshow.com, click on become a patron, and anywhere between $3, $5, and $10 a month, you can support the Main Event Sports Show. You get your own, you get unique content. You get the ability there to give us topics that you want to hear about from us, as well as this gear and the whole nine. So, hey, become a patron of Main Event Sports Show and help us continue this growth and rapid expansion. It's all because of you.
Main Event Nation, baby.
There we go. Now, let's talk about the thing that all U of L fans and UK fans really care about, the return of college basketball.
Yes.
And Tuesday night, I don't know why they chose Tuesday night. Well, I get it because it's not a football night. It's just MACtion night. So I guess they figured we could pee on the MAC conference and start college basketball up.
No one cares about MACtion unless you live in Ohio.
Yeah, pretty much. So, you know, we started college basketball out, you know, the first big kickoff, first big game, UK, Duke, and then Louisville takes on the greatness it is, the Southern University Jaguars at 9 o'clock at night in an empty Yum Center on a network that nobody could find, even if they wanted to. People trying to pass out like bootleg links to watch the game.
None of my links work. I was one of them people.
I was one of them too. So nobody could watch it or watch like the next day. You know, ACC.
Hey, I'm just going to ask you, hey, tell me why we live in a world in 2021 where literally I could not watch the game live. And forgive me, Devin, I had to sit there and watch UK and wait for that game to end. As soon as the Louisville game got done, then I was able to watch on the ESPN app, but I couldn't watch it live on the ESPN app. It's the dumbest thing in the world.
It is.
Especially for a marquee basketball program in the number one basketball, maybe the number one basketball conference. That's debatable after Virginia got tossed up.
I miss Don
by
Russell,
Navy.
Channel 11. What happened to Channel 11? Watching the game.
DRB.
DRB. You feel me? Cheesy announcers, home crowd. Like.
So anyway, let's watch this UK do. After UK having their trials and tribulations with Miles College, the powerhouse that is Miles College, and being down by 7 at halftime and squeaking out a win against Miles. I must admit, UK bounced back against a much, much bigger Duke team, and I thought held their own very well. I mean, I was watching the game, and correct me if I'm wrong, Devin, because you're the UK expert here, but it seems like UK was giving Duke everything he wanted, but Duke's size and length was just too much for UK to overcome down low.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like we played with them in the first half, of course. In the second half, they did pull away because of their size, but we didn't make any adjustments. Like, Kills, is that his name, Trevor Kills?
Yeah,
Yes.
for Duke.
Point guard?
Duke's a beast.
Oh, he's a tank. He's massive for a point guard. And, I mean, Severe, he had a very solid game himself. He's just so small compared to Kills. Kills was just destroying him on the drive, getting to the rim like it was nothing. And, I mean, what you do with that, me and my dad talked about this, you got to play zone. If we put zone down there, of course, Oscar's undersized, but put up 20 and 17, he's a ball hawk, and he's just a brute, But you put him down there in the middle, Kills potentially doesn't get to the basket as easy on a 2-3 zone or whatever you want to play, of course. But you just got to have that help down low. Bencaro, I think that's how you say his last name.
Yeah.
He looked amazing. 6'10", KD-like, shooting from everywhere. Wendell Moore, Jr., he looked great coming back for a second year. I mean, Duke's a very good team. I think they just made the right adjustments at the end. And, of course, the size was a huge factor. But, I mean, this team for Kentucky, as the season goes on, just like every year, I feel like this team's going to get good. They have the talent for sure. Grady, he's a sniper. We got to get him in. We need Dante Allen to play, the Kentucky boy. Don't know why he doesn't play. The defense thing, it doesn't work because Jazang's out in UCLA balling now, and that's what he said. That's what Calipari said about him. So let's just see what happens the rest of the season. Cal's got to work with the team correctly and just not put them in jambles like usual.
Yeah, I think that, first of all, Champions Classic was once again an amazing event. It was awesome. I agree with you. Kentucky definitely put out a better showing than what they did in either of the exhibitions, versus Kentucky Wesleyan, versus Miles College. I thought they were very lethargic. They didn't play any defense. And it could have been competition related. The thing I worry about is, why didn't I see that energy and effort in those games that I saw against Duke? Because the one thing you don't want to get into is a situation where you have a team that's not taking their competition seriously, because what if you play at Georgia on a Tuesday night? And it's not a wow, you're playing Arkansas or you're playing, Mississippi State or something where it's maybe a lazy crowd and you have the team come down low energy and you let one of those teams get you. So I was very happy to see Kentucky bounce back and show energy. The one thing, and Haven, we talked about this a lot, and I told you one of the things I was concerned with Kentucky this year was I noticed that they only have 2 players over 205 pounds. Okay, that being, of course, Ware and being Big Oscar Tshiebwe. Everybody else is they have a couple of guys right over 200 pounds, and everybody else is sub 200. And the one thing I worried about with this team is this is by far the smallest team that John Calipari's ever had. I mean, even Oscar and Lance Ware both are 6'9" guys. They don't really have that big. Usually Kentucky's a very physically large team, and I always felt that because of their size, defensively, and especially on the backboards, they could really win by just being bigger and stronger and with their hustle defensively until the offense caught up. And that's one of the counters that I don't know if Calipari is going to have this year, is the fact that they're not going to be able to physically dominate people with their size, which means you got to be a lot more skilled. Severe Willer was outstanding. If he can continue to shoot the ball like that, he was a 28% three-point shooter last year at Georgia.
Yeah.
So if he can be mid-30s, mid to upper 30s, then that completely changes the dynamic with him, because he's so quick. The book on him was back off of him, go underneath the screens, make him shoot the ball. But if he can do that, that adds a component to it. My biggest thing is going to be with Kentucky, can anybody besides Oscar rebound the basketball? And can anybody besides, having him down there as a presence to maybe block a shot or discourage a drive, can anybody lock up their man defensively? Because, Ty Washington got bullied. And once he got bullied, his head completely went out of the game and completely disappeared. Devin,
Kyle
what do you
kept
think
him in
about
the
that?
game.
Absolutely.
But I understand why Kyle kept him in the game. It makes sense because I was reading a lot of UK fans on Twitter kind of getting upset that why didn't Kyle take Ty out? And I get it. Kyle's playing for March.
Absolutely.
And if you want him to get his bumps now, you want him to get, see the bright lights in a big city and get overwhelmed and all that good stuff now.
It's a Tyler Eulis versus the Harrison twins. Why did they keep the Harrison twins in and when you had Tyler Eulis on the bench?
Yeah.
That's why.
That's why. And I think from watching Ty play, he has the skill. I mean, he's small, but he has skill and ability. And I think this will really pay off come SEC tournament time. I think you're going to see a different guy at running a point. The same thing with Teague. When they had Teague. I mean, Teague in the beginning of the season was trash.
Yeah.
But by the time he got to the tournament, he was like a completely different point guard.
And Ty can shoot the ball. I mean, that's a skill that if you can shoot the ball, Ty, Grady, and Dante Allen are probably the 3 best shooters on the team. So you got to have 2 of those guys out there.
Throwing C.J. Frederick in there as well. That's
Yes.
4 shooters right there.
Yes.
There you go.
I mean, Cal's, we might not need that dribble drive this year. We got to do a perimeter-based offense this year, of course, because of the size. Oscar's going to get the rebounds, but like you said, nobody else is. Where, I mean, he'll put in the effort and stuff. He's still raw. Collins is he's like a pole, man. I mean, he's an athletic freak, but he's got to fill out.
Hey, Devin, who's skinnier? This year with Collins or Perry Stevenson?
I'd have to say Collins for real though. I mean, Perry was a string bean too, but Collins, man, it's like a pinky, man.
He looks malnourished.
Yeah,
talk about the Cats win. Let's talk about the Cardinals. The Cats lost. Let's talk about the Cardinals win against Southern, where the Cardinals struggled mightily against the mighty Southern Jaguars.
Hey, I tell you what, Southern came out. They played with energy, as you would expect. That they came out. I don't know what it is about opponents playing and shooting on those Yum Center rims, but it seems like every team that comes into the Yum Center shoots about 30 points higher on their 3-point shooting. But it was a game where you're breaking in a new system. 19 turnovers in the game. You didn't have Chris Mack. But what I did like about this, and this is something that the fans are going to be used to. People ask why this guy doesn't play, why that guy doesn't play. This is the joy of having a deep team. Louisville has 12 guys that they can play. So you basically just roll with whoever's having the good games. In this first game, it ended up being Matt Cross and Sam Williamson, as well as Noah Locke. Those are the guys that were hot. So you ride with those guys. But it could be a different set of guys every night. Jalen Withers didn't have it. But guess what? Louisville has the opportunity to have Cross go in there and have it. DeAndre Davis didn't have it the first night. Didn't play a great game. But then you have Sam Williamson that can come off the bench. This is the thing that you like. You had Jarrett West had the great game in the first game as the point guard. Next game, it could be El Ellis. This is the thing that you have to get out of. Why is this guy not playing good? Why is that guy playing well?
To me, another thing is,
that's it.
When you have a deep team, it also puts more pressure on the coaching staff to figure out what guys play well with other guys. Mm-hmm. And that's just going to take time trying to figure out who plays best with this guy, with that guy, and it just takes a lot of experimentation to make that work. You know what? We're on our last break here. When we come back, talk a little bit more college basketball, and then it's time for our world famous picks section, man. We got to talk about who's going to win tonight. A lot of games coming up. We're going to talk about them on the Main Event Sports on the Plug Network. Stay plugged in.
I'm Hayden Harrington, host of Main Event Sports Show. Catch us every Thursday, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time here on the Plug Network Online. Stay plugged in.
Want your brand or business featured on The Plug? Advertise with us at plugnetworkonline.com. Again, advertise with us at plugnetworkonline.com. We got the eyes that are looking for you.
Changing Image Barbershop is your best choice for your family haircuts. Just off of Hikes Lane in the Bardstown Square Shopping Center. Changing Image Barbershop has lots of parking and plenty of seats inside with a great family environment where every customer is treated professionally and like family. They specialize in the newest styles and cuts. Changing Image is the best barbershop in the Ville. They now have a braider and over 15 barbers available to you. Call them at 502-907-0010 or visit them at 2251 Hikes Lane in the Bardstown Square Shopping Center.
Oh, hi there. How you doing? Jordan Jetson. It's nice to see you. I'm gonna be here Saturday, you hear me? 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time for the plug listening session. We're gonna be listening to one of my personal favorites, Devin.
You must harness your power.
Look, I rose from the fire, I chose to be fire. The moment I woke from my slumber, I tell them I won't be denied. I'ma get it or die, cause I'm me and there won't be another. I've been on my level for life, I'm an angel with wings and a halo. I lead those up under me. I'm the king of the city, a god of the poor and defeated. Don't come around me acting up that he been.
Hi, my name is Renee Unique with Unite Louisville on the Plug Network Online. Check me out every Friday at noon on your lunch break. Stay connected and stay plugged in.
And welcome back into the Main Event Sports Show, Main Event Sports TV, live on the Plug Network. Raashaan Myers, Devin Hall, the architect himself, H to the Izzo, Haven Harrington III.
There we go. You know what? Before we get to our world famous picks, I would be remiss if I didn't throw it to my man Devin over here and ask him this question. Devin, what do you see in the NBA right now that kind of has you excited? Like, who's that surprise team or player right now in the league?
Well, I mean, if we're going to pick a team in the East to be a surprise right now, it's the Wizards. I mean, they're 8-3. Of course, the Bulls are 8-3 as well. They're both at the top record in the East, but the Bulls are kind of expected with this new revamped lineup. But, I mean, you got Bill doing pretty solid, but y'all's boy, Montrez, what about him, man?
He's balling, right?
He's been balling out there.
He was like 8th on the MVP candidates ladder. They do like a weekly MVP candidates.
Yeah, I've seen that.
And he was like 7th. I'm like, Montrez is in the MVP race?
As a sixth man? Crazy.
Hey, everybody's doing their part for that team now. They're finally have some depth around Bill ever since Wall left, of course, which as a John Wall fan, I just learned today that he's not going to play this season. Nobody's going to want that contract, so another year without him. But my focus is on the Nuggets now. That's my team. We've been doing good. Of course, the big talk this week has been Jokic and Morris.
Wow.
What do y'all think about that?
Hey, let me tell you something. Morris got what he deserved. You try to go out over there, throw a cheap shot, hit Joker in the ribs. Everybody know that hurts. It was unnecessary. The game was over with, and you try to be a tough guy and elbow my man and walk away. And you know what happens when you mess with a grizzly bear? You get the claws. I like it. I love it. Jokic proved he's not one to be trifled with. I bet you Morris won't do it again.
Hey, he bullied the bully. I loved it.
I'm just like, this is a weak 2000 era's basketball. Back in the old days, they would let them have like a fist fight.
Oh, when Kent
and no fouls have been called. They would put them apart.
When Kent Benson elbowed Kareem when he was young, Lou Alcindor, he caught him with that.
And Kareem turned around and went,
yeah.
He caught him with
one
that.
foul was called.
No.
Right in the jaw.
Hey, street justice. Street justice. That's where we come from. So you know what? Morris thought he was cute. I bet you won't try that cute crap no more.
No, he won't.
Hey, being a Jokic man, back then I remember Jay Crowder tried to punk him one time, and he got right into Jay Crowder's face, and Crowder just looked away. Back down to him. Jokic is about it. He grew up and being over from Serbia, of course. Crazy times over there. It's a completely different world over there. And you've seen his brothers last year in the playoffs too.
Oh, yeah. Well, and I've heard that the Jokic brothers have already purchased tickets for when the Nuggets go down to Miami for that game. And they said if any of these Miami Heat boys want that smoke, they will be there waiting on it. So I feel like everybody's going to want to watch that game just to see what happens outside of the game.
Hey, move it to Christmas Day. Let's have some fireworks on Christmas Day.
Absolutely.
There you go. Hey, what about your Lakers? Are they dead yet?
Don't call them. First of all, you know better than call them my Lakers. They ain't been my Lakers since LeBron James came to town.
I don't know why you hate LeBron so much. But you know what? Now LeBron's being human. He's actually hurt.
The Los Angeles Lakers are pathetic. They're a team that's now starting fights with teams like the Oklahoma City Thunder. They're getting into scrapes with the Charlotte Hornets. Russell Westbrook leads the NBA in turnovers. The Lakers are a team I've been trying to tell people since the beginning, since they put this group together. Everybody keeps talking about championship. When you have to depend on Melo going out and getting you 29 points to beat, hapless Houston Rockets teams,
you're in trouble.
Absolutely. So, yeah, the Lakers, they're 6-4 right now. Congratulations for that set of steak knives that wins you. If you make the 8th seed in the Western Conference, you should be happy. Right now, it's all about the Golden State Warriors. The Warriors are, I believe, 8-1 right now, playing outstanding basketball. Jordan Poole has been absolutely ridiculous, and that's without Klay Thompson or James Wiseman. When they get those two guys back, they may be the best team in the West this year. They look good.
Hey, there you go.
In the league, maybe.
Yeah.
They already are. But you know what?
Hey.
Yeah, go ahead.
Gary Payton the second is. Have you seen him? Man, his defense is like his daddy's, not as good, but he has athleticism where Gary didn't.
Gary said that I look at how athletic he is, and I feel like the milkman man came and made a visit to the crib while I was gone. He said, I don't know where he got that athleticism from.
Hey, there it is. But you know what? We got about 6 minutes to go. Let's start this pick segment off. Hey, since we're talking NBA, let's continue to talk. Tonight, Utah going against your Pacers. Who you got and why? Pacers looking a little bit better. It's kind of figuring some things out.
Yeah, you know what? I feel like the Jazz are trying to make a run. Okay, last year was the year where they had the great record and they had the #1 record in the NBA. We kind of saw this with the Milwaukee Bucks a couple years ago, where the Bucks had those couple of years where they were really a hard-playing team in the regular season, but couldn't get past the second round. The Celtics beat them 2 years in a row. The Jazz have now gotten to that point to where they had the best record. They end up getting knocked off by the Clippers in the second round, and they're focused on being good when it counts. And part of that is taking care and winning games on the road. I feel like the Jazz are going to take care of the Pacers. Rudy is playing well. Donovan Mitchell, the last 4 games, I believe, is averaging almost 30 points per game. Right now, he's sitting at 6th in points per game scoring average at a little bit under 27 points. Give me the Jazz.
You know what? I'm going to take the Jazz because I don't like the Pacers. But there we go.
Fair. And can I just say, I'm so happy that Isaiah Jackson is no longer playing for your Kentucky Wildcats. Dude went from the most athletic dude in the SEC to the most athletic dude on that Pacers roster immediately. He's a monster.
Has he got to play much?
He plays. He does not start. He's one of the guys off the bench, but I swear he gets a highlight dunk almost every game off some alley-oop or some ridiculous play.
Hey, he'll be a slow process, but Chris Duarte, he's been a good surprise for y'all.
Absolutely.
So, but y'all both take the Jazz. I think the Jazz are a better team for sure, but I'm going to go with the Pacers this time. I think they're going to defend home court.
All right, here we go. Pacers got it. Thursday Night Football, Lamar Jackson, the Baltimore Ravens, going down to the greatness it is. I'm going to say Duval County, that's Jacksonville. Going down to Miami, the bottom.
Dade County.
To take on the greatness that is the Miami Dolphins and Tua Tagovailoa. Yeah, okay, Baltimore all day.
This will be the first game where the Ravens should have their complete complement of players. All of their tight ends are finally healthy. I can't think of the number 85 tight end, the big guy, the big blocking.
Andrews?
Not Andrews. It's the blocking tight end. I can't think of it. The guy. I think it's Hurst. I think maybe.
Hayden Hurst.
Yes, he's back. You have finally all of your wide receivers back. Bateman's healthy. They should get Watkins back. So we're going to see a fully operational Death Star offensively this week for the first time. So add that to the fact that the Dolphins suck. Ravens by like 1 million points.
Yeah, Ravens by. Go ahead, my bad.
No, you're good. Go ahead.
I was just gonna say Ravens by however they want it to be, and I mean the Dolphins suck this year, and I hate it because I'm a Brian Flores fan, and I hate that this is gonna put him on the hot seat. But it could potentially lead him to a better position or the better team later down the line. But that team's just, I don't know. I don't believe in Tua. I think Tua's not gonna live up to the hype, and Ravens by, let's say, 3 touchdowns maybe.
Oh, wow.
I agree.
I mean,
it's Nick Boyle, by the way,
Nick
not
Boyle.
Hayden Hurst left. He's with the Falcons now.
Well, it's just so sad, too, because, like, last year the Dolphins were 1 game out of the playoffs and made a big run, and you would think and say, this was their year to kind of make that turn and move up to the next level, and instead of going up to the next level, they stumble back down the stairs to the basement.
Yep.
It is what it is. They did a Wile E. Coyote on us.
They just can't stay healthy. I mean, they've had issues with injuries, issues with offensive line play. They haven't been able to find a running back since Jay Ajayi a couple years ago came out of nowhere and went crazy. And, Devontae Parker out every
Always
other
hurt.
week,
Yeah.
always hurt. They can't get it. They can't do right.
So next up, UK, Vandy. I'll go first on this one. I'm going to go with UK because Vandy's horrible.
I'll have to parrot that. Vanderbilt just collects a check. They like the person that stays at home, don't work, and just
collects a check.
That's Vanderbilt
They're
in the
welfare
SEC,
queens
man.
Of the SEC.
They just there. They there so they don't get fined, man.
They're your rich uncle that just lives off his inheritance and never worked a day in his life. That's Vanderbilt. Ain't trying to work, don't want to work, don't need to work, and don't care to work. We're just here, baby.
That's it. Get the check.
Yep, I think 3-game losing streak ends. It's just simple as Haven put it. They suck. But like I said, you can't overlook them. We got to come in, execute everything correctly. But I think we'll win a couple touchdowns or more.
There we
Especially
go.
with how the offense looked last week.
So,
agreed.
Here we go. Big game. Saturday, we're going to tie Lamar's number. Louisville, Syracuse. One's on a 3-game winning streak. One's on a losing streak. Who you got?
I picked Clemson to narrowly hold on to beat Louisville last week, and that ended up being correct as much as I hated it. I think that Louisville's going to get the win. I've been thinking that they're going to get the win. I think they're going to make this game a lot harder than it has to be. But you know what? When you're retiring arguably the greatest offensive weapon that college football ever saw in Lamar Jackson, even though nobody wants to admit it because he played at Louisville, you owe that man a performance. So go out there, get the win, take care of business, and make it fun.
Hurdle somebody.
Make it fun. I need Malik Cunningham to have a Lamar Jackson day. 4 or 5 touchdowns, a couple of running touchdowns, throw three touchdowns. Let's have fun. Can we have fun for once?
You know what? I think Louisville also gets it done. It's going to be a tough game, tight game, just like you. I think it's going to be closer than what it should be. Hopefully Louisville has a size enough lead into going into the fourth quarter that they don't pee on their legs and get caught. I don't think the Syracuse Orange been having the firepower to catch us. I've been wrong before about this team. I'm going to go Louisville by 5.
Fair.
Yep, I think another losing streak ends. I think Louisville's got this one just simply due to the fact that crowd's going to be rocking. Stadium's going to be packed because Lamar's going to be there. The aurora of Lamar being on the sideline with the team. I feel like they're just going to live up to that, come out, smack Syracuse by maybe 10. I'll give them 10.
My man.
I think they're going to come back.
Hey, but to think about for tuning into Main Sports on the Plug Network and like the end of every show without any struggle.
There is no progress.
Peace.
I'm Haven Harrington, host of Main Sports Show. Catch us every Thursday, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time here on the Plug Network Online. Stay plugged in.